With the second pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Marvin Bagley III from Duke University.
G'day guys, Grazy back with another NBA season preview. Today we're looking at the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are coming off another disappointing 27-55 season. Dave Yeager's got his work cut out improving on those numbers. The last 5 seasons for the Kings have been rough. Before that they were 32-50, 33-49, 29-53, 28-54. They haven't quite bottomed out in those years, and that's prevented them from getting the top tier of picks. And when they have had their picks, they haven't quite nailed them, and their players have been disappointing. This year, they hope to turn it around with their early draft pick, Marvin Bagley III out of Duke. Let's have a look at the projected starting 5 for the Kings. At point guard, we've got second year De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron's one of the quickest players in the NBA, but he needs to improve on his shooting. Last year, he gave them 11.5 points per game and 4.4 assists. But his field goals only came at 40%, and he's only a 30% shooter from 3. He's got electric speed and he can finish at the rim, but he needs to work on that jump shot so that people really have to start respecting him and help spread that floor. At the shooting guard position, they have got HIeld. I thought HIeld was the next Steph Curry before Trae Young was the next Steph Curry. Buddy certainly hasn't filled that role. Very reliable with his games though. In 3 years, he suited up 82, 82 and 80 games. 13.5 points last year, a shade under 4 rebounds, and just under 2 assists a game. Buddy Bucket's not so much into passing the old ball. And that's fair enough when you can shoot your threes at 43% and 87% 3% shooter. I think this is a make or break year for Buddy entering year 4. He needs to show that he can really carry the load for this team. The front court is made up of Bogdanovic. He was quite impressive in his rookie year, suiting up 78 games, just under 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and knocking down his threes at 39%. Bogdan displays quite a bit of confidence in himself and has a bit of swag about his abilities. And this was never more on display than the game winner he hit over the Warriors over the top of Draymond Green. I think Bogdan could be a very handy player for this team. They need more than handy out of Marvin Bagley III. The 6'11" product out of Duke is considered the starting power forward from this team from day one. He put up incredible numbers at Duke, 21 points, 12 rebounds and just over 1 block a game. Can stretch the floor, knocking down his threes at an impressive 39% and 61% field goal percentage overall. Hopefully he can stretch the floor because he looks like being a very talented player, and the Kings really need him to come in from day one so they can compete in the Western Conference. At centre, 7-foot Willie Cauley-Stein. Willie's one of the coolest looking players in the NBA, and he's always been a monster on 2K, so I've always liked him. He came in at just a shade under 13 points, putting up 7 rebounds and nearly 1 block per game. Shoots the ball around about 50%. I think Willie needs a little bit more. He's 25 years old and he's been in the league a while now. I think the 7 rebounds could be improved upon, and I also think he could get a few more blocks. He's got incredible length and he is an extremely good athlete. I think they can get a little bit more out of Willie Cauley-Stein, but the clock is ticking. He needs to show it this season. Now we take a look at the Kings bench. The Kings bench is spearheaded by one of my all-time favourite players, Zanch Randolph. Zebo still put up 14.5 points, 6.7 rebounds last year, and he plays the game tough. I've always liked Zebo, and he is a veteran presence on this team. And when he does come on, he can still get the job done. An interesting fact about Zebo, going through the research for this project, I had no idea that for one season he was a member of the LA Clippers. There you go. Ben McLemore is back on this team. If I took a bet on that, I would have lost. I had no idea that Ben McLemore was back with this team after a season with Memphis. Justin Jackson's coming into his second season. Bit of a disappointment with the former 15th pick in the draft at 6.7 points per game and nearly 3 rebounds. They'd be hoping for some improvement out of him because he still has quite a bit of talent. Costa Koufos can give you some minutes at centre, and he can also look dumbfounded at the best of times. Joining them on the bench is Harry Giles, another first round pick this year, pick 20. They'll be hoping he could be a bit of a surprise packet and give that bench a bit of punch. Hopefully he can contribute straight away. Yogi Ferrell will come on and give you some offense pretty quickly. He's had a couple of good seasons with Dallas and he's actually made quite a good career for himself. Frank Mason III comes on and gives a bit of backup minutes at point guard. I've quite liked Frank in the games I've seen him. He comes on and he knows how to get his shot and he's quite a handy player. Nemanja Bjelica, I probably got his name wrong, but he turned down some offers from Europe and he has signed with the squad as well. And Iman Shumpert is on this team. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I had no idea where Iman is, but Big Shump, he's on this Kings squad along with Scal Labissiere. Scal didn't really improve in his second season, putting up very similar numbers to his first, so they'd be hoping that in year 3 he can put it together because there is a bit of talent there. So where does this Kings team go in 2018-19? They've got a couple of interesting players who, if you look closely enough, you think, yep, there's a bit of talent there. Buddy Buckets, De'Aaron Fox. You've got Bagley III, Willie Cauley. You hope for a good year from Justin Jackson. But I just don't think they've got the talent there. I don't see how this team can go too far at all in that stacked Western Conference. This will be another development year, and they'll be hoping to get some minutes into their young players to try and build from the future. They're in a tough position where they are in the Western Conference, and I couldn't see this team pushing 30 wins this year, and I expect them to be picking quite high in the draft again. Hopefully they can turn it around soon, because it's been a long time since this Kings team was relevant in the NBA, and it would be good for the league to have them back. What do you guys think? Where do you think the Sacramento Kings finish this season? Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you liked that video, feel free to give that one a thumbs up, maybe even thinking about subscribing to the channel so you know when the latest videos are up. If you have any feedback or any improvements you'd like to see in the channel, feel free to drop it in the comments. I take all feedback on board. Thank you again for watching.